Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. In this video we'll be talking about how to apply for research internships, especially if you're an undergraduate or a master's student. I'll discuss the different ways with which you can apply for research internships along with my tips and strategies in these different approaches so that you can maximize your chances of receiving internship offers from universities where you're interested to pursue your internship. A little bit about me. My name is Pratish Kumar. I'm a data center engineer at Google, also a recent PhD graduate, and when I was an undergraduate student myself, I also went through this process of applying for research internships, and using the tips and strategies I'll discuss in this video, I was able to receive multiple internship offers from universities in Canada and Germany. First, let's talk about why would someone be interested in pursuing research internships. I think there are several reasons. The first is, let's say if you're an undergraduate or a master's student and they're potentially interested in this idea of pursuing a PhD after your undergrad or master's degree. I think research internships helps you to get the experience of working in a research laboratory, working with other graduate students, working with a research supervisor, and it helps you to decide for yourself and guide your decision of whether you want to pursue a PhD after your undergrad or master's. It also helps you to explore your research interests in a particular area. For example, if you would be pursuing a PhD, then you would have to decide a research area, and if you pursued a research project in a research area for an internship, then it helps you to decide whether you would be interested in pursuing research in that area for your PhD studies. It also helps you to secure strong recommendation letter writers for your PhD applications. For example, the research supervisor with whom you pursue your research internship, that supervisor will get the experience of working with yourself for a few months, and then they'll be able to vouch for your research capabilities in the recommendation letters for your PhD applications. Another reason why someone could be interested in pursuing an internship is that, let's say if you're considering this idea of applying for PhD programs outside of the country where you did your undergraduate studies. It helps you to get the experience of working in that different foreign country for a few months, living in that country, doing research in that country for a few months before you formally decide to apply for PhD programs in that different country. There are two main ways through which you can apply for internships. The first is to apply through official programs. This is where a lot of universities across different countries in the world, as well as some research organizations, would have set up some official programs through which you can apply for internships. In my opinion, this is a more simpler and straightforward way to apply for internships. The other option is you can also directly cold email some professors at some universities where you're potentially interested in pursuing an internship. This is a slightly difficult option, but it also works well if you do it correctly. Before you start applying for internships, there are a few things that you want to focus on so that you maximize your chances of receiving offers. The first thing is make sure that your GPA is good before you start applying. In my opinion, this always looks quite good on your application, and any professor who is reviewing your application will be more confident in your academic abilities as well as your ability to perform successfully in the internship. You should also take up some projects before you start applying. This showcases that you're an enthusiastic student, and it also demonstrates your skills and capabilities as a researcher. Typically, research internships would only be for 2 to 3 months, and it's a very short period of time to deliver a meaningful contribution in that short period of time. So if a professor sees that you already have some research experience, then they'll be more confident in your ability to perform successfully and deliver a meaningful contribution during the course of the internship. You can take up some projects with some professors at your university, some course projects, as well as some personal projects online. Lastly, make sure that you have a nice and polished CV. So present yourself professionally in the CV, highlight all of your academic accomplishments, all the undergraduate and master's degree that you have pursued, your grades in those degrees, state all of the research and course projects that you have done, as well as your accomplishments in those projects, and make sure that you clearly highlight all of your research interests and the topics that you'd be potentially interested in exploring for your internship. If you're going to apply through official programs, make sure that you have done your research ahead of time and identified all of the programs where you'll be applying. If you're not sure where to apply, I've provided a link in the video description with all the research internship programs that I'm aware of in different countries where you can apply for internships. Depending on the program, the application process may be different. Some programs may ask for recommendation letters, statement of purpose, and CV. And there may also be a matching process between professors and students during the application selection process. If the program is asking for a statement of purpose, make sure that you spend enough time thinking about your motivations, your research interests, and clearly articulate your reasons for pursuing a research internship in the statement of purpose. Make sure that you also highlight your reasons for applying to that specific research internship program. Make sure that you also track the application deadlines for all the research internship programs where you're applying, because some internship programs may have earlier application deadlines, and apply to as many programs as possible so that you maximize your chances of receiving offers. The other way to apply for research internships is by directly cold emailing professors. To apply through this method, you should first think about your research interests and any particular topics in which you would be interested in doing a project for 2 to 3 months. You can then look up some universities where you would be potentially interested in doing an internship and see if there are any professors at those universities who are working on similar topics as your research interests. You should then write clear, thoughtful emails to those professors, mentioning your interest in working with them as a student, and inquire whether they have an opening in their laboratory to take you as a student for an internship. Make sure that you are very clear, concise, and to the point in this email, and also attach your CV or provide a link to your CV so that the professor can learn more about your background, your skills, your qualifications, and any previous research projects that you have done. If you're not sure how to write such emails, check out the link in the video description. I've provided a couple of sample emails so that you can get started. Once you email a professor, there may be 3 types of situations you may be in. The first is you hear back positively from the professor. In that case, you take the conversation forward, discuss the project details and other logistics of the internship. You may also hear back from the professor saying that they don't have an opening in their laboratory or they don't have the funding to take you as a student. In that case, you should thank the professor for the response and move on to reaching out to more professors. You may also not hear back from the professors at all. In that case, I would recommend that if you haven't heard back within 1 to 2 weeks, you send a friendly reminder to those professors and inquire whether they had a chance to read your email. I would also suggest that don't be disheartened if you hear back from a lot of professors saying that they don't have an opening or they don't have the funding, or if you don't hear back at all. I think these are quite common, and to ensure that you receive at least some positive replies, you should try to reach out to as many professors as you can. Another suggestion I would give is start writing these emails as early in the internship season as possible, because if there are any professors who would take you as an intern through email, they haven't made an offer to someone else already. In addition, writing personalized, thoughtful emails to multiple professors can take quite a bit of time, and you would want to dedicate sufficient time to crafting these emails and sending it to as many professors as possible. Even if you do hear back positively from some professors, figuring out all the details of the internships, including logistics, can take quite a bit of time, so starting early is definitely a good idea. That's generally all for applying for research internships. Be sure to check out the link in the video description for a comprehensive list of all the research programs that you can apply for at different universities in different countries, as well as some sample emails to email professors. Thanks for watching this video, and I wish you all the best for your research internship applications.